Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the SilverStone SG04-F small form factor case. This type of mini chassis is best known as a small form factor case and is primarily used for LAN parties or local area network parties since they are so transportable. Now these cases are also a popular option for home theater PC setups. And this case is mostly steel except for an aluminum front bezel. At the front, there's one 5 1/4 inch drive bay, and they include a drive bay cover, which preserves the look on the front of the case. Conveniently located at the top right is the power button. On the left, there's a door which opens to reveal the reset button, 2 USB ports, a microphone jack, headphone jack, as well as an external 3 1/2 inch drive bay. The front bezel swings open, but you need to remove 2 screws, one at the top and one at the bottom. When open, you can see that there are 2 included quiet golf-bladed 120mm intake fans. And each fan has a dust filter. Now this can be completely removed for easier access to the fans, as well as the dust filters and the inside of the case. There's ventilation on both sides of this front bezel, and this is to allow the 2 120mm fans to intake cool air. There's no ventilation window or fan on the left side panel or the right side panel. At the back of the case is where a standard ATX power supply and I/O shield plate gets installed. They include 5 ventilated expansion slots. There's lots of ventilation and 2 thumb screws on each side panel. Note that the power supply can be installed either way. So you can have it this way or you can flip it the other way. And the reason for this is if the power supply's fan is on this side, of course, there's no ventilation here. So you would need to turn it around and have the fan on the other side. Since this is a small form factor case, it fits micro-ATX form factor motherboards. The side bracket, which supports the power supply and has one external 3 1/2 inch drive bay, can be removed for easier access to the inside of the case. Note that there is a power supply guide at the top. Unfortunately, this case does not come with a removable motherboard tray, and there's no hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate. SilverStone recommends the NT06E heatsink since the CPU cooler can't exceed 82mm in height. For additional cooling, the FX121 blower style fan can be added at the back of the case, although you can't have both installed. So you can only have either the FX121 or the NT06E installed. As small as this case is, it does support 10 1/2 inch long video cards. 2 3 1/2 inch drives can be installed at the bottom, and this is actually a removable plate. So you can remove 2 screws on the bottom of the case and you can actually take this out, install a drive or drives on it, and then put it back in. Also note that each of the mounting holes have rubber grommets to prevent vibrations, and there's lots of ventilation. At the bottom are 4 audio-video style feet with rubber inserts in each. Finally, have a listen to the stock cooling. Remember that this is not a mid-size tower case, it's not a full-size tower case, it's a small form factor case, and you cannot expect it to have all the same features that the larger cases have. But it still has lots of excellent features, like for example, 2 120mm fans at the front. You can fit very long 10 1/2 inch video cards inside. Also, you can fit a long power supply. But there is a CPU cooler height restriction. The interior isn't black. The motherboard tray is not removable, and there's no hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate. But considering the styling, the build quality, and the features of this case, it's a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.